Good day, everyone. Our lesson for today is all about Pythagorean Theorem. But before that, don't forget to subscribe and share this video to your classmates and friends, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Also, you can find different subjects in this YouTube channel. Just select the playlist section, and finally, please do not skip the ads in this video. Thanks, and now let's proceed to our main topic for today, which is all about Pythagorean Theorem. The Pythagorean theorem, we have this triangle ABC with sides A, B, and C, wherein the formula for computing the Pythagorean theorem is equal to a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So ito lang yung formula. This is a Pythagorean theorem. Or we can use this one as a squared equals c squared minus b squared if we are looking for side A. If we're looking for the hypotenuse, we will use this. If we were looking for the side A, we will use this. Or we can also use b squared equals c squared minus a squared. So kahit alin doon sa tatlo, pwede, depende pala yon doon sa side na hinahanap mo. Um, which side is the hypotenuse? Obviously, the right angle points to the hypotenuse. It is the side labeled C. This is the right angle, right? So, itong opposite niya, ito yung hypotenuse. Okay? So, calculate side C. Ayan. So, let's see, we have 6 and 8 for A and B. So, we will compute for C. We will use the formula C squared equals A squared plus B squared. When calculating the hypotenuse, we add the area of the squares of the other two sides. So we have this one, a squared plus b squared. So that is a squared, which is 8, and b squared, which is 6 squared. So we have 64 plus 36. We will add the 2. We have 100. To get c, ang gagawin natin is we will square root both sides. So we will square root both sides para ma-cancel natin itong 2. So we can now cancel this. So matitira is c, and then what is square root of 100? That's 10. So we have that's c is equal to 10. Okay? Calculate the length of the side x. So here, side x. Given 7 and 12. This is the right angle. So the opposite is the hypotenuse. So obviously this is not c. So this one might be a or b. So we can choose either. So when calculating a side, we determine the difference of the area of the square of the hypotenuse and the area of the square of the known side. So we will get the difference now. So we have b squared equals c squared minus a squared. So titingnan natin yung difference ng dalawang area. We have 12 squared and then minus 7 squared. So we have 144 minus 49, and that's 95. Then get the square root of both sides. So we will be having x equals 9.7. Okay, using your calculator, get the square root of 95, makakakuha ka ng answer na 9.7. Okay? The length and width of the rectangle are 12 cm and 15 cm. Calculate the length of the diagonal. So here, we have this diagonal. It has 15 cm and 12 cm. So we will look for the diagonal. To determine this, determine first what is this diagonal. Kung hypotenuse ba siya. Kasi kung titignan natin, this is a right triangle, right? Tapos, yung kanyang opposite, this is a right triangle, and then yung opposite niya should be the hypotenuse. Therefore, yung dalawa, legs niya yun, yung 15 tsaka 12. So, pwede natin gamitin yung Pythagorean Theorem na c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Pero, since we're talking about diagonal, pwede natin palitan yung c ng d. So, that is d squared equals 15 squared plus 12 squared. So, yung area ng isang square is 225, yung isa naman is 144. Then i-add natin, makukuha natin is 369. So, para ma-cancel natin ulit yung d squared, ay yung squared ng d, square root natin both sides. So, get the square root of 369. Ang makukuha mo is 19.2 centimeter. Okay, so that's the measurement of the d. At the same time, kung napapansin ninyo, yung mga hypotenuse, since they are the longest side, they should have the longest unit of measurement. So dito 15, 12, pero mas malaki pa yung 19.2. So ibig sabihin, kapag sinabing hypotenuse, that's the longest side. Okay? So kapag yung answer mo, then when you're getting the hypotenuse pero yung answer mo is mas maliit kaysa dun sa or isa sa mga sides nito, ibig sabihin there's something wrong with your answer because the hypotenuse should be larger than its two legs, no? Than the two legs of the given triangle. Remember that, no? Dapat mas mahaba siya. Okay? So, another, Tanya is making a party hat using a cone. So, gumamit siya ng cone and then made of out of paper. Determine the height of the cone given the hypotenuse or the slant, which is 13 centimeter, and the base, which is 5. So we will get the height of this one. So since it forms a right triangle, so we can use the Pythagorean theorem. As you can see, the missing side is B, okay, or A. We can use A or B. So we will subtract the area of the two squares. So we have this one, 13, and then 5 squared for the 5. So we can use the Pythagorean theorem. Ayan. So B squared equals C squared minus A squared. So let's just say that B squared is equal to H squared, no? Palitan natin yung B ng H. So H squared is equal to 13 squared minus 5 squared. That is 169 minus 25. That's 144. Again, to cancel the squared in H, ang gawin natin is square root both sides. Ayan. So what is the square root of 144? The answer is 12 centimeters. Okay? So ganun lang kadali ang pagkuha um, ng sides or the missing side of a right triangle by using a Pythagorean theorem. Either gagamit ka ng c squared equals a squared plus b squared, or a squared equals c squared minus b squared, or b squared is equal to c squared minus a squared. So kahit alin sa tatlo, depende pala sa hinahanap. No? Kapag ang hypotenuse ang hinahanap, you can use c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Pero kapag yung sides ang hinahanap, kahit alin sa dalawa, pwede. Yung b squared equals c squared minus a squared, or a squared equals c squared minus b squared. Okay? So that's all about Pythagorean theorem. I hope you learned something to our discussion for today. With that, thank you very much for your listening.